and welcome back to Shenandoah University Esports here today. We have a good one here for you as we go through our signature new fly-through that we've been doing for you every broadcast here. Overwatch against Thomas More here tonight off of a week from that big reverse sweep against Akron after NECC. Last week, I'm Ben Kincaid, joined by Kyle Dexter. Kyle, how you doing?
I'm doing great, Ben. How about you?
Doing fantastic. Very excited to jump into this matchup and to have some fun now because perks are live, right? So no character bans, but the perks will be used here tonight. So very, very excited to get to see kind of what these do in action in collegiate play.
Right, we're going to have to see how impactful these end up being, and I think it's going to be really fun just to see what kind of new toys both teams will get to use.
Yeah, like, I know the Orisa has like this charged javelin shot that just it travels faster and pins when it's fully charged, so I'm very excited to see where that one works, because I only play Orisa. I don't play anyone else. If you ask me to, I will just simply say no. I will not go to any other characters or heroes. So very excited to see how impactful this javelin looks. But before we get into that, let's see how we got here with the schedule that was this week. Pretty fun, right? I mean, we had Varsity Smash Varsity Rocket League, going down to Nichols College 3-1. But right after that, we saw our Academy Street Fighter 6 player, Way Awesome Kevin, go 2-1 on the night. Tuesday, Academy Overwatch with an unfortunate 3-0 loss, but trying to bounce back here tonight. And then we had that reschedule here for Lebanon. Academy Smash won 2-0 yesterday as well, as we look to Thursday, Wednesday as well. A nice split here for Tekken. Another win, a very close set for you guys on Thursday, getting that 2-0 victory over South Florida, advancing to, I believe, 2-1 in that group. Very good standings there for you guys. And then we're coming all the way back to Friday. Our only game that we have is this Overwatch 2, just like we have every single weekend. It's against Thomas More, which is a college we've seen a couple times this semester for a lot of our what are they called? Titles. There we go.
Yeah, and we're going to have to see how our Shenandoah's Overwatch team kind of adapts to these new toys that they're given, as well as kind of what sort of momentum can they bring into this match with how they just barely scraped out of that last one last week.
Yeah, the Akron series last week was extremely close. It was right after NECC. A lot of the players were working with that event, networking, going to a lot of kind of the study halls, I'll call them, the breakout rooms that we had going on throughout that event, learning a whole lot about the collegiate and high school space here for esports as a whole. And then they came and they fell behind. Right, they fell behind early, but then they locked in, got that reverse sweep against Akron, putting on a crazy show that me and you had the pleasure to cast last week. It was an absolute blast. So we will have to see what the momentum is like going into this one. I know they fell a little bit earlier in the week, a 3-0, unfortunately. But hey, sometimes it happens. We'll see if they can bounce back and come out with another victory.
Right, and we're going to see how... Like you said, it was very close, right? So we're going to have to see how Shenandoah is able to kind of be like, okay, you know what? Let's see if we can not fall into that trap again. Like, let's not look at whatever kind of like serious count they have. Let's just look at what we need to do to take this series.
Yeah, and well, we can talk all about it all we want, but let's hear it from one of the players real quick. We have, I believe it's Kevin, standing by with Rain Dreamer, our tank player. Guys, take it away.
Alrighty, thank you so much, Ben and Kyle. I am joined by Rain Dreamer to talk a little bit about the Overmatch here today. Tell me, it's been a long week. How are you feeling going into this match?
I'm feeling pretty confident. We've been working on some things here and there, some like micros and macros, and I'm thinking that we're going to do and play very, very well tonight.
Awesome, great to hear that. We saw a very beautiful reverse sweep the last time around we saw you on the broadcast. I gotta ask, what have you taken from that last match? What are you hoping to try and implement today to try and really bring this match to the next level?
I'd say that we took to really get our mental in the right state of mind before really going into the matches, and yeah, pretty much just working together as a team, listening to each other, and just doing what we do best.
Great stuff. Now, I gotta ask, the Overwatch game just implemented a new perk system, and by the sounds of things, that's really gonna shake up how this game is gonna play. How are you feeling? How's the team feeling? Is everything kind of falling into place, or does it feel like a pretty big shakeup?
For me personally, it's not too crazy, but I like them a lot. It's pretty much just giving each character a chance to be better in whatever scenario. For me, for Orisa, when I play her, the perks have really made my gameplay a lot more aggressive and a lot more fun. But I think that we're going to have a very interesting match because I haven't played against every character and all their new perks, but it's really going to bring a whole new level to the game.
Well, great stuff. I can't imagine what sort of crazy shenanigans that all will bring. Thank you so much for this interview. I believe we're going to pass it back over to Kyle and Ben. So guys, take it away.
Thank you so much for the insight from Ranger there. But yeah, they feel confident with these perks going in. They don't think it's going to change drastically how the game is played, but I do know there might be some tiny little interactions that players might not be used to seeing in some of these high-level competitive matchups. So we'll have to see how those perks really kind of weave their way in and how impactful they really become later into this series.
Right, and kind of like what she said on the interview, she said a lot of the perks kind of help her playstyle, and that's something I really think that the Overwatch devs did amazing well when designing these perks. They kind of enforce these kind of playstyles from these characters. I'm going to say like Tracer, for example. She has these perks that kind of just benefit her by picking up these health packs, which is kind of help her like enforce her just playing in a very independent game, not really requiring much healing from her support. She kind of just play much more independently and get a lot more picks through her sort of perks as she gets through that.
No, yeah, for sure. Now let's look at what the overall kind of head-to-head looks like with these two teams, taking a quick peek at what last season looked like. The Saints going 6-1 series record, the game record 20-5, looking ultra strong. SU struggling a little bit, only going 2-4, 6-14, those game records here. The two wins being those clean sweeps. As we swap over to what this season looks like, both teams looking to continue success, right? I mean, the Saints are 1-1. It was a sweep, reverse sweep, but looking to advance to that 2-1 record. And then on the side of SU, I mean, looking super strong with a 2-0 record here, trying to advance to 3-0 in the groups.
Right, and there's a lot of momentum that could be shifted from these two teams, right? Shenandoah are currently undefeated in the pool, but Thomas More, currently 1-1. There's still potential for them to go positive in their current standings in the season. But if you're Shenandoah, you want to keep that momentum going. You want to have more of those wins.
Yeah, I mean, if you could advance up to 3-0 in this group, that would be huge, right? Being able to sit on the top of that group 3-0, tied with Marietta, might mean a potential playoff berth to come through. We can't say that confidently just yet because we do not know what the rest of the season may look like, but Thomas More trying to hold on as well. That 1-1 middle of the pack kind of gameplay coming through thus far. So trying to come out with a 2-1 record, tying up with the Chargers there and SU in that middle of the pack. As we do get our first map, Kyle. What is it going to be? Lijiang Tower.
None other than Lijiang Tower, Ben. The tried and true in the Overwatch community. Everyone, and I mean everyone, loves this map, Ben. It is pretty much the staple map when it comes to Overwatch competitive.
Yeah, I mean, this is definitely the map that we see pretty much all the time. We got a little bamboozled last week. I can't remember the map that we did go to. It escapes me right now.
It was Samoa.
Samoa. Yes, it was Samoa. That is correct. That was just a big curveball for both of us. We were like, oh yeah, Lijiang. That is what we go to all the time, every single time. But nope, it was Samoa. But now we're back to the bread and butter. We're back to that Lijiang Tower. And frankly, I cannot wait to jump into this matchup.
Right, and a lot of these perks, there's a lot of like environmental kill opportunities here. You know, the bridge and excuse me, the holes on the map, but it also forces a lot of characters to kind of play those kind of roles, like Lucio, right? One of his perks allows him to have a much more impactful boot as it has more knockback. and we're just going to see how this goes. And we do see a little bit of compositions here. We do see a little bit of brawl come from both sides.
Yeah, brawl coming through from both sides. Now, if you look at the names up top, you'll see one crucial name is missing here for the team. Tiny Shiny not in the lineup here tonight on another broadcast. Good luck. Hope that is going oh so well for her over there. But it is going to be Sin. We saw them last week in that support role and now transitioning into this DPS role on the Sojourn.
Right, really pulling through the fact that Sin is kind of a flex player, even though their main role is that tank. They are still proficient in some other roles, as Sin gets that railgun on Average Gamer and Sepher Gravy.
I mean, 2 back-to-back kills immediately. The DPS is off the board for Thomas More and Nice Sin. Hunting for a little bit more here. We'll be able to find one onto the Ana, but I'm curious as to what happened there, because we had 2 SDs.
Oh,
yeah,
no.
And there's another one, Ranger
boo.
going down, but they will be able to find the cap in the end. First touch going into SU.
Ben, it's hard to describe. I don't really know what happened to both Shenandoah supports there. They both kind of walked off the edge there.
Yeah, not 100% sure what happened. Nonetheless, we were able to win out on that fight. We see some of these perks coming to light as well. I mean, Rangermer with that charge, Javelin coming up huge, as well as the Heat Dissipator. When you hit those critical shots with Orisa, the Heat gets refunded. So much easier to manage that Heat and not overheat and not be able to shoot your gun, right? Flames as well now going into that Wraith form that they often go into. Rangermer going purple, trying to stay alive for as long as possible. Will go down. We would Dragon able to find that one with the Orion, but Sin and Clabula answer back in tow. Both DPS is down on the side of Thomas More, and Flames now in the back, wreaking havoc, trying to stay alive, and will do so with a 3-man Death Blossom, cleaning up that fight.
Woo Dragon desperately trying to use that Shatter to kind of repair what was left of that fight, but it was too late. The damage was already done. Flames taking out both supports and the Reinhardt. Woo Dragon swapping to a bit of an unconventional pick with the Roadhog.
Yeah, Woo Dragon going into the Roadhog, possibly just trying to find some sort of pick, but the Terror Surge up and available, will be dropped. Won't be able to find any kills, but after that, they will. 2 in a row for Ranger. I mean, pulling them up close, doing all that damage, and then just turning to the heads, gunning them down. SU looking super, super strong here on the first point of Lijiang.
Right, and these tank picks here, they're a little strange. They're a little bit of a hard spot to be in, right? Reinhardt and both Roadhog as well. Not quite the best of dealing with Orisa's oppressive offense and just her way of sustaining herself with the stuns as well. Roadhog doesn't really have any way of just blocking that. He's just a big guy. He just takes a ton of damage, but he also can take a lot of stuns as well, and there's not really much he can do about it.
Yeah, Flames now in the thick of things. Yet again, Ranger able to find the kill onto Woo Dragon, and now it's all up to the Moira, but unable to find the touches is Thomas More. The first point going in favor of SU.
Right, and there's something I want to bring up about perks in this format, right? So, depending on what game mode is being played, the perks reset and sometimes they're done. This is an example where they don't reset. Most rounds, let's say we're playing like a high bid or attack, after each round, perks will reset, but in this case, you see from Sin's point of view, they were still level 2. They still have their minor perk. So I do believe Control is the only game mode in the game that lets you keep your perks mid-round.
Yeah, no, it'll be interesting to see what comes out here from either side. It does look like the Hazard, I believe, is who that guy is. One of the newer characters here in Overwatch. One of another kind of brawly character similar to the Orisa in kind of that team comp position. But already Ranger able to find one Bioexorcist, there it is. I'm trying to do too much with my words. Will go down. Jayuda able to find Average Gamer as well, but another clean fight coming through from SU. The staggered timers as well means Thomas More will have to forfeit the touch of this point.
Right, and Waffle for Prez trying something new with that Legio pick. knowing that did not go so well without getting one of those boot picks, goes back to their tried and true Moira from we have gathered so far. And Moira is one of those weird characters that's usually is not very good, with the introduction to perks that got some really nice stuff for her. I do believe one of her major perks basically applies a stronger DPS passive to her damage orb, but she can also do more healing with her healing orb.
Yeah, no, I mean, good stuff coming through thus far from SU. A good front coming through as well. Ranger getting so much healing from the Team Flames now. Pivoting over towards that flank. Ranger going dangerously low, but they can't do anything about it. Weewoo Dragon will go down. Waffle as well. Sin able to clean that one up, and now SU pushing the advantage, making sure everyone goes back to that spawn point. Multiple members down, and Shenandoah holding strong, 50% and ticking on the second point.
This is what Shenandoah is all about, Ben. They just love that steamroll. They love just kind of just running away with the game. They want you to not be able to catch up to their pace, and that's what it's looking like here in this map 1.
Yeah, and still, I mean, SU is looking super, super strong. Flames in particular, Sin in particular on this Sojourn as well. The DPS is truly coming alive. The Kitsune coming out from Claviella as well. I mean, look at the speed, the entrance coming through. I mean, Claviella possibly in a dangerous spot, but Sin able to clean up one. The healing coming through as well, and the death Blossom to follow, finding 2, make that 3 for Flames. A clean team kill for Shenandoah.
You also saw in that Death Blossom, Flames was able to keep himself alive with one of Reaper's minor perks, these Soul Orbs. But this is, for anyone in the chat who remembers Overwatch 1, this is what Reaper used to have as his passive before his lifesteal on his primaries. Whenever he would kill an enemy, they would drop like basically a mini health pack that only Reaper can pick up. I do believe it's about like 50 HP, but the Terra Blossom coming out from Range Dreamer, the Terrasser is taken out too, as well as Flames taking out the rest of the competition with that major perk, which basically adds a long-range right-click for Reaper, which is something uncharacteristic of him. He's always about that close range, right? So him having such a long distance shot, that actually does a ton of damage. We see it right here. This game of the play the game.
Yeah, it's going to be this Death Blossom that really sealed the deal here as well. We might see that perk come through as well. Not quite, but yeah, Dire Triggers is what that one is called. And I was talking to him a little bit earlier before this map started, and he was like, yeah, it can do long range damage, but it really feels more like a finisher, right? You get them low enough to that 25% health, and then right click and see if you can just find that execute. And if you time it right, I mean, there's not much that you can really do against that one. As we see the little ducky sitting on top of the monitor, having a good time watching a clean map 1 from SU.
Right, and I really like what you said about Dire Triggers. It's such a very versatile perk, right? Not only can it be used for like long-range poking, but like you said, it could also be used as a finisher. Since it's tied to a cooldown, not tied to Reaper's actual ammo. He can use it to basically like pop all 8 shots in his guns, and then use the finisher for both guns to finish it off. And it acts, you can't play Reaper as some sort of combo character, and it seems to be really impactful for Flames, and from what I've heard from him, he's loving it. Yeah,
I mean, why wouldn't you? I mean, this guy already knows the ins and outs of Reaper and positioning as a whole, and now when you add a potential execute and some more sustain on top of that as well, you're like, oh, okay, well, maybe Reaper might be all we need to really run through this one. But I do want to give massive props to Sin as well, going off on the Sojourn in that first map, looking super, super good. A very versatile player, able to play support last week, DPS today, a tank player as well, kind of knows a little bit of everything here in Overwatch. A very nice util player here for SU, coming up huge with that Sojourn.
Right, jack of all trades, I like to put it, Sin. One of the rookies of this team, right? So them and Jay Rudy, both rookies of this team. Do believe, well, I know Jay Rudy isn't a freshman, but I know, excuse me, I know Sin is. Jay Rudy, like we discussed before a couple weeks ago, used to be on the league team that we had here on Shenandoah. So also kind of a flex pick as well, and being good at multiple games.
Yeah, no, very good. I believe around an Emerald player in the top lane for Jay Rudy. Very good at that one. And then coming into Overwatch as well, performing very, very well in this support role on that Juno specifically with, I believe it's the Vitals is the minor perk that Juno uses, being able to get those orbs faster to, the healing orbs rather, faster to people that are low on health, right? I'm pretty sure. Correct me if I'm wrong.
You're close. It's close. It locks on faster to teammates in general. It doesn't matter like what kind of like HP threshold is. As long as they're like locked onto your teammates, they'll lock on like much faster than like the opponents.
Well, that's nice too. You don't have to be low to get the glory of Vitals. You just get it because you're on the same team, and that's pretty darn nice as well. And I believe, I don't know what the other perk is called, but it's the one that kind of crits with the gun. So that is probably what J. Rudy is running on this Juno as well, for a little bit of kind of self-protection as well, just trying to get some damage down with that one. So yeah, I mean, overall, SU looked very, very strong in that map one.
For sure. These support perks are no joke, Ben. Especially with Shenandoah's characters. They have some really strong ones. Kiriko has something similar to the Torpedo one that we mentioned for Juno, but her heals will travel faster for those who are 50% health or below. And she can also basically teleport twice with one of her major perks, but especially for Ana, like you said before, Juno can now crit with her gun. And now Ana can do that too, and that is pretty terrifying. I've seen how much damage that can do. I've seen Claudia hit those shots with that Ana, but mainly she's going to be using her other major perk, Shrike, which basically means whenever she nanos somebody, Ana herself will also get nanoed. So if an Ana's getting dived, that means she can nano her tank, or let's say a Reaper in this case, while also keeping herself alive, healing her, and getting the damage boost for the damage resistance for herself.
Yeah, and we did see the Kiriko as well from Clabiella that has some other very great support perks as well. Urgent Care, just if you that's the one that where you're low on health, the cards or the kind of feathers. I think they're like cards,
it's like
kind of,
sort of paper.
Yeah, the paper mache or something that gets shot out from Kiriko will go to you a lot faster if you are in that kind of threatening threshold on health. And then we have Shuffling as well, which kind of just gives you 2 teleports that shift or whatever you bind it to when she goes like that and TPs to you. She can do that again if you recast it within, I believe it's 4 seconds of casting it initially. So yeah, it's very interesting to kind of have a lot more mobility with this team and this roster as well with these perks.
Right, and it looks like you just got the word for map 2 on this attack/defend. It is going to be Kings Row, another staple for Shenandoah. And Shenandoah, like we've mentioned many times before, is all about that brawl, right? So it's going to be very beneficial for them. But also, I can also see Thomas More gaining a lot from this as well, because from what we have seen from them, they also seem to favor that brawl with that Roadhog, with that Reinhardt especially. Like in the olden days of Shenandoah, we would see a bunch of Reinhardt and Widowmaker and Lucio. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, that was our bread and butter right here at SU just about a year and a half ago, looking super, super strong on that one. But this is what Map 5 was a week ago. This is where the reverse sweep was completed here for SU, and it looked dominant, right? They were able to really take it to Akron. They weren't able to do a whole lot on their push, and then SU just kind of ran away with things. So let's see if that repeats here today against Thomas More. We'll have to wait and see where everyone is going to be starting on. But, I mean, thus far, SU looking extremely dominant and no signs of slowing down after that 2-0 on Lijiang.
Right, and they're very common, especially in this map as well, right? Riding the momentum that they gained from last game, kind of a bit of a steamroll for the most part, right? And now they're getting a map that they're very comfortable with being on. So if I were Shenandoah, I would be pretty happy about this turn of events.
Yeah, and it looks like they are going to be on, I believe, the attacking side first here, if I'm not mistaken.
Shenandoah, yes.
Yes, they will be on that attacking side. So we'll have to see how well this first push goes for SU. SU defense, my mistake. They will be starting on the defensive side. So we'll have to see how this first initial hold goes for the side of SU. It's going to be the same characters coming through, minus the switch on Clabiella going over to the Ana off of that Kiriko. So expect that strike perk to be very dangerous, right? That double nano is huge. And then we also have Groggy, which I believe is when you get Slept Dart and you wake up, you're a little slept dart, sleep dart. Sleep darted. Yeah, there it is. Production is laughing in the back over there. But yeah, you get up and then you're just kind of slow, right? You're groggy, right? You're very tired after you wake up from the sleep dart.
Right, and Thomas More making some adjustments of just about every pick here. Waffle Press swapping to On and Bio Exorcist going to the Kiriko, and Separate Gravy swapping to the Junkrat and Weewu Dragon. You see there on that Malga, such an impressive character. An average gamer onto that Cassidy.
Yeah, Claviella going down early already. Waffle able to find Sin as well, pushing everyone off of the point on the side of SU. Average gamer, yes, on that Cassidy as well. The TP out from Flames for some sort of protection. But, I mean, it looks like that cap is already going to come through. A beautiful first push coming through from Thomas More, finding those early kills onto Sin and onto Claviel. J. Rudy as well getting dangerously low, but will be able to fly away to safety.
Right, and I do like these adjustments made by Thomas More. Junkrat, such a strong character in this first half of the second point, as well as he can just throw those bombs down those chokes, and it's very hard to deal with. His Flames just kind of shreds Weewu Dragon as Reaper, the tank shredder he is, and Malga, as much sustain as he has, he can only take so much. He's such a big guy, and when he doesn't have that charge or the overdrive, he doesn't really have much to sustain himself.
Yeah, heals coming through from Claviella as well. Flames just right around on that wall, getting dangerously low, almost killing Weewu Dragon yet again, but unable to find that kill. Sin getting spotted out as well by the Junkrat. Gravy there, I think it's Sephiroth Gravy there on that Junkrat, raining down a whole lot of damage. But now look, Death Blossom up and available, but won't be able to pop that one as Sephiroth Gravy able to find one. Average Gamer finding Range Humor as well, but not before Ranger was able to find a kill of her own. But the retreat coming through, regrouping, waiting for their tank to come back alive is SU.
Right, and Thomas More showing some signs of life with these couple of pushes, right? They've been constantly winning these first few fights, and it's kind of a combination of them kind of regaining their momentum, kind of like getting their mental strength, right? Also as well as the character picks as they get stunned with the Flashbang and the Cage and the High Noon. A very dangerous combo indeed, could be ready to be used, but no, Death Blossom able. I'm just kidding, there he goes, but no, he gets stomped by the Malga. How unfortunate, but the Orbital goes out with the Cage, and almost everything's getting popped here. The Kitsune as well, but the Nano's on board as well, but Biox's skin taken out by the Javelin Spin.
I mean, yeah, it was a back and forth affair there. I was looking up towards the ultimates up and available, and I was like, oh my gosh, every single player in this game is about to possibly have their ultimate. I mean, what, we saw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ults popped in that exchange. 3 on the side of Thomas More, 2 on the side of SU Flames, trying to just run at that backline and find that Death Blossom, but just was unable to do so. Malga, Weewu Dragon doing a great job at stopping that one from going off in full, and now the push continues. 4.5 minutes to get to this final point. Flames TPing up the Kitsune, popped by Claviella. Will they be able to get anything with it? So much damage, and the High Noon coming up huge. Claviella will fall. Average Gamer will find one. Weewu Dragon yet again finding another one, and here comes the Rip Tire. Will they be able to find a kill? Going for Sin, will be able to find it. Heat seeking to the Sojourn. Another kill and a great push still continuing for Thomas More.
Right, now, a characteristic of Shenandoah, now they're kind of getting steamrolled in this first point here, as Thomas More is just throwing these bombs down those chokes and setting up the traps. Very hard for Shenandoah to kind of contest this, but one last effort coming out from Range Humor and Sin as the overclock is popped, as Weewu Dragon goes down just barely with the right click, just barely not overheating.
Yeah, just barely avoiding that overheat. Flames does go down. However, Average Gamer able to find that one. The Terror Surge is up and available here for Ranger, with the only ultimate that is relatively close. Flames about 25% away from that one as well, but the Nano up and available on the side of Thomas More. Waffle does have that one ready to go Gabriella with the Ana as well, not close to the nano of her own. Just will be healing in the back of this point here. So we'll have to see where the aggression will come through from Thomas More, if they will begin to push up, trying to find an angle onto Range Humor there, but unable to find anything. I mean, the Terror Surge is still a massive threat. If that finds multiple members, that could be a team fight win, and it looks like it might be close to being popped, question mark. There goes Malga going in dangerously low, goes Ranger, will drop the spear, finds one, Flames as well on the backside, finding two of their own. A beautiful approach. It looked like Ranger was just about to fall, but I mean, just barely staying alive in that exchange, going down to around 70 HP. I don't know how she was able to stay alive in that one, but somehow she managed finding a kill and finding a team fight win.
Living dangerously, indeed she is, and yeah, her staying alive during that Malgo was kind of what was needed from Shenandoah to win, right? As she popped the Terror Surge, taking out the Cassie, who's been a big thorn in the side of both DBS from Shenandoah.
Yeah, you see Average Gamer and Sepher Gravy here, both with their ultimates up and available. Bio Exorcist with the Kitsune Rush as well.
Ooh.
The Orbital Raid does come through, finds multiple members, multiple of them going purple as well. Weewu Dragon dangerously low. Sin trying to find that kill, but unable to do so. The adhesive perk coming up there, when that does hit the player, it does stick to them, so it can move around just a little bit. But I mean, the back end of that fight, we see Jay Rudy able to clean up to a good hold, and now a minute and a half to go. 2 ultimates up for SU3 on the side of Thomas More.
Right, we saw from the kill feed from Jay Rudy, he has picked the crit major perk, like we mentioned before, which allows basically just, his guns to crit. And as soon as Shenandoah got access to their major perks, it seemed that this game's been a lot more in their favor, but the ults are building up as Average Gamer is popping the High Noon as well as the Kitsune. How will Shenandoah respond to this? A potential flank with the overclock. Getting Average Gamer, there you go. And Jay Rudy again taken out by the Riptire. No one else is kind of taking their intention with this Sojourn, getting out of there, blink of an eye like a thief in the night.
Yeah, Weewu Dragon getting slept there as well, but the push continues here on the side of Thomas More. 4 members strong. Sin able to find one. Gabriella has to try to find the touch, will be able to do so. Ranger does have the Terror Surge up and available if they are able to find those kills. The Ana goes down. Jay Rudy will follow the Terror Surge coming through. I mean, we can see Bio Exorcist so low, finally goes down, but Sin will follow. The DPS line still alive on the side of Thomas More, and that looks like that will do it. A full cap with 18 seconds left coming through for Thomas More.
Waffle for Price, barely. There you go, you see the duck from Shenandoah. There's a name that Gabriella gave the duck, right? I keep forgetting. Sir Duck, is that what we're calling it?
I'm going to call it Sir Duck.
We'll call it Sir Duck for this broadcast for now. Waffle for Price kind of saving that last fight there. We did see from Flames he was going to go for a last-ditch Death Blossom and kind of flip the momentum for Shenandoah to kind of stop the full hold on this attack. But we saw Waffle for Price hitting a clutch sweep dart, and as well as Weewu Dragon hitting the stomp to stuff him out.
Yeah, I mean, that sleep dart really just shut down everything that SU was trying to go for there in that final fight. I mean, we saw Flames. He had the angle. The Death Blossom was popped, but was stuffed pretty much immediately, as now we swap sides here. SU now going on the attack, needs to find this full cap to force this overtime point here. So we'll see if Thomas More has anything to say about it. We do see some swaps coming through on the side of Thomas More. It's going to be Saphir Gravy onto the Mei and Weewu Dragon back onto that Roadhog, as well as some switch-ups here on SU side. Ranger are now going towards the Ramatra.
Right, and it's kind of strange from these picks here, right? Thomas More, knowing that Ranger will most likely stay Orisa, going Roadhog is kind of a bold move, but I guess it might work out for them more than they think, as they're completely swapping to a different tank into this Ramatra.
Yeah, it looks like they're just trying to find an early pick here. The wall coming up, the hook wall combo. I think that is what they were trying to do, but unable to find the angle as Ranger forces themselves in. The hook lands onto Jay Rudy, but unable to find the kill in that exchange. Weewu Dragon already going down. Flames able to find that one. Now Ranger firing onto the back line as well. The damage coming through, and it looks like it's just gonna be a team kill and a full cap immediately coming through from the Hornets.
Right, very dominant from that first fight for Shenandoah, and so I do want to point out, like I mentioned before during the Leechon game, this is one of the many game modes in the game that after a round passes, all perks reset. Even though Claviola is level 3, for example, last round, she's back to level 1, and so is everyone else, which basically allows Ranger to kind of play that counter swap, because once you counter swap in the middle of a round, the new character you swap to is now at level 1. So it kind of disincentivizes you from counter swapping a little bit.
Yeah, when you walk out of the gates, you kind of are stuck with what you want to do, right? I mean, we were Dragon going down dangerously low there, but unable to find the kills is SU. Ranger are getting poked down tremendously there. We can see Severe Gravy as well with that Junkrat up top. Flames trying to chase them down, but unable to find that angle. Never mind, it's going to be Sin instead, able to find that kill on the backside. Flames now going purple is We Root Dragon. Flames just trying to find the kill. Death Blossom up and available. Will it be popped? Not quite yet. The sleep dart coming through stops that approach in its tracks, but still the follow-up coming through. Ranger were able to find one onto Bio Exorcist, and now it's going to be this back and forth game yet again. Ranger has the, I believe it's the Annihilation ultimate up and available for the Ramasha. Won't pop that one just yet. Overray coming down from J. Rudy. The trap coming through as well. The cage from Mauga keeping everyone inside, but will fall. Ranger able to find one, but Average Gamer on the back end. Glabiella Flames will fall, and Spear Gravy able to follow up and find Rain Dreamer in the end. A one fight for Thomas More.
No Annihilation pop there from Ranger. Both supportals had to have gotten popped there one after another. Good spacing from Shenandoah, but if had Ranger have popped that Annihilation, might have been this fight might have been a different story, as whenever Ramadra pops that Annihilation, not only does he go back into that Nemesis form, but he also gets a good amount of armor to come back as well, giving him a little bit of extra survivability.
Yeah, Ranger went back up onto that payload already. The Malga going in does get slept, but look at the potential flank coming through from Flames. Does get spotted out. The Death Blossom not popped just yet, but it's the Kitsune instead for Bio Exorcist, just forcing SU off of the point. Being patient, waiting for that one to wear off. A used ultimate for Thomas More. Ranger were trying to stay alive, but a great approach coming through from Wee Woo Dragon means the tank is gone, and now here comes the Riptire. Where is it going to go? Flames trying to find an angle, but spotted out immediately. The Riptire does find one. J. Rudy on the backside, and it looks like SU finds themselves yet again on the back foot, waiting for their tank and support to come back alive. And in that last exchange as well, Ranger were trying to stay alive as long as possible, did pop the ultimate. Only 2 up now for the side of SU, 0 on the side of Thomas More, but that High Noon slowly approaching that 100% mark.
Right, it might not be looking so great for Shenandoah. They do have the ult, but the timer is ticking. And we did get this sort of gameplay from Thomas More last time, where Shenandoah is doing really well at holding a particular point, but they would just barely clutch it out. But Shenandoah is getting a little bit of momentum going as Ranger takes a waffle for fries, but for prize, sorry, excuse me. Ranger Claviella going down.
Yeah, I mean, another 2 players down on the side of SU. The payload going not the direction that they want it to be going. The High Noon applying so much pressure, just forcing SU out of position, excuse me. Sin with a little bit of a fight there. It's going to be Flames trying to chase that one down, unable to find a kill just yet. Will be able to find one, and Sin on the backside with that charged up shot will be able to find the Severe Gravy as well. Sin overclock up and available. Flames, Death Blossom as well. J. Rudy and Claviella dangerously close to their ultimates as well. The Nana will be up for this next fight, 15% away for the Orbital Ray as well for J. Rudy. We'll have to see when those ones get used, but they are just trying to force out this Malga going purple. Will they be able to stay alive? No. Flames into the backside, but the sleep dart yet again coming through, but Sin following up with the overclock, able to find one. Will they be able to find any more? J. Rudy, Claviella finding those back end kills. Flames as well, still pushing the aggression. Gets slept, wakes up, and runs forward. A 1 fight for SU.
Talk about a rude awakening indeed. Flames getting slept as soon as he started that death box, and how unfortunate, but even though that happened, he still got nailed by Claviella, and the speed boost from the rain from J. Rudy, he was able to kind of just stomp the rest of the team with the help of Sin with that overclock, getting the solo cage on the Reaper, but everyone else joining on the fun side. They can kind of shred Malga here when he's kind of left alone like that, as both Average Gamer and Bio Exorcist goes down, as long as Waffle for Prez.
Yeah, I mean, Severe Gravy will go down as well. Another clean wipe in favor of SU. The cart pushing so close to that full cap. Thomas More should have enough time to find a touch, but Wee Woo Dragon already going purple. The Kitsune pop as well. No one on the cart for SU. Finally, they jump on it, but it allows Thomas More to find another touch, but Sin says, no way. I'm going to find 2 kills right quick. The full cap coming through with time to spare, mind you. 2:16 on the clock as we head into this overtime.
Certainly, and I playing a little bit of patty cake. No, it's not patty cake. It's just having
High fives?
Yeah, with some fist bumps.
A little mix up, a high five on one hand and the fist bump on the other.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, I think so. Anyway, Sin, pretty accurate with those railgun shots, right? Getting those last 2 picks during that last fight, that was pretty impactful, as they were able to continue to just kind of have the time advantage, right? Shenandoah, I believe, have 2.5 minutes left to spare, while Thomas More just only has 1.
Yeah, I mean, 1 minute on the clock for Thomas More, 2:16 for SU going into this overtime. We'll have to see if picks stay the same on either side. We see Thomas More switching back and forth on a few. We saw JQ come through, but not sure if any of this is truly real. I mean, we see the Lucio coming out, so surely it can't be all what is going to happen in all of these switches. Let's just keep seeing how many heroes can we select. We have Ball now, Bio Exorcist on the Moira, Waffle now on the Kiriko, a Sojourn coming through from Agile Gamer. Now we have a switch over to the Life Weaver, and the Zarya as well coming through from Wee Woo, and back and forth. Unsure what the final push is going to be. SU starting on this defensive side yet again with the exact same comp that they used last time. It looks like Wee Woo Dragon is going to be staying on this JQ Average Gamer as well onto this Cassidy, so we'll have to see where the approach comes in. Flames getting up top, trying to find an early pick. Severe Gravy just barely able to stay alive.
Right, and another headshot kill from Sin with the railgun, taking out Average Gamer on the Cassidy. And you know the shot was coming out. Ramon just getting pulled in. That's exactly what he wants, but even though he's purple, he has to block to kind of sustain himself. All the supports keep him alive, but if you're on the side of Shenandoah, this is still a good position as Braintree takes a Wee Woo Dragon, because no matter how much time you stall, the timer is going down. So this is still a really good position for Shenandoah, as the last-ditch effort from the team, from Thomas More, as trying to get one last push, but Severe Gravy and Waffle Press both going down to Ranger and J. Rudy, as well as Flames taking out Average Gamer and Bio Exorcist.
Yeah, and now back onto this Naga. Wee Woo Dragon does get a touch. It is a 1v5 situation, able to find 1. Flames going down, but now with overtime ticking away, Thomas More won't even find the first cap. All that SU now has to do in this overtime is find that first point, and they will be victorious. I think just that first little
tick,
sector,
the first tick
of that point will give them that overtime victory and a 2-0 lead moving into map number 3.
So, if I'm remembering correctly, by technicality, I don't think Shenandoah can lose this map anymore, because of the fact that even if they do get full held on this attack, it would be considered a draw, which, to be honest, I'm not entirely sure how that would work in a format like this in NECC, but all they have to do is get this one last tick, and that basically means Shenandoah has just win one more fight. And we do see Kaivial going back to the Ana with kind of to purple the Wee Woo Dragon on the Malga, as that kind of sort of counters him, and without the dash from Malga, he's a prime sleep target as well to kind of get shredded with the Reaper.
Yeah, the same comp coming through here from SU. It looks like it's going to be about the same on the side of Thomas More as well. Weewu Dragon will be back on the Mauga, will not go for that JQ like they were earlier in that push. So we'll have to see what SU can do here. We can see, I believe it's full perks now for the entirety of SU here. Thomas More as well. I'd only imagine they are the same way here. So we'll have to see if those come into effect. I'm sure they will, specifically for Flames, to try to find that execute with the dire trigger. But we'll have to see where the first pick happens, right? Flames going up top, looking for Saphir Gravy, and now so many members purple on the side of Thomas More. Waffle going dangerously low. Ranger trying to stay alive, will go down. We were able to find one average gamer barely staying alive as well, but Flames just trying to find these flank angles, trying to find these picks to try to give SU the edge going into some of these fights.
Right, and we do see a little bit of staggering coming out here. It's more of a stalemate, some would say. But I did wonder here, considering the fact that after every round you do go step back to level 1, I wonder if we're kind of attacking a second time in this sort of game mode. Do you go back to level 3, or do you just not get reset at all? As Ranger like, overextending, trying to kill that Kiriko as a last-ditch effort, but not quite getting it. He's just going to step back Shenandoah just a little bit. As to take out this Mauga, they're going to need their tank to kind of win this entire fight, but the ults are kind of building up that adhesive sticking to that Mauga.
Yeah, the adhesive coming through. Weewu Dragon still alive. Bio Exorcist with the Kitsune up and available as well. Sin very close to the overclock. J Rudy, the Orbital Ray up and available as well. Will drop that one. Flames in the backside as well. A TP able to find one. J Rudy. Sin cleaning up with the overclock as well. That will be the first tick. They were just waiting for those ultimates to be up and available. SU a commanding 2-0 lead here in the series.
Right, and a little bit of a dangerous start for Shenandoah, as we did have a little bit of overextensions coming out from just about anyone on the team, right? But they were able to kind of lock in for the rest of that, like last 30 seconds of the game, as Sin gets this play of the game with the overclock, getting a lot of value out of those railgun shots from Sin. Very job well done from them.
Yeah, I mean, a good, very close King's Row there. I mean, Thomas More did have some momentum in their favor, but after they went back onto that attacking side in that overtime, they were unable to get the ball rolling. SU winning fight after fight, and with just a minute on the clock for them, that means they only really have 2 to 3 fights to really work with, give or take overtime touches to come through. We did see one Weewu Dragon was able to get there and force that overtime, but no one else on the side of Thomas More was up and alive to support them. So once the Mauga went down, there was no one left for the Saints to continue the fight. So good stuff coming through from SU on the defense. The attacking side on overtime did look like they were struggling a little bit to find the angles, but as soon as they found a purple onto Mauga, they were able to find that kill, snowball that into More, and then it was easy peasy for the rest of that overtime. You have the squishier targets in that back line that Flames was able to get access to with the teleport as well. Sin with the overclock able to clean up some kills as well. So now we move into our final map, which we will get word of what that is here shortly once the Saints get their map pick in.
Right, potentially the final map, right? As Shenandoah, they do have that 2-0 lead, though Thomas More showing a little bit of signs of life with how dumb they were originally in that first part of the map where they were attacking. Pretty much steamrolled them for about the entire way through until the last point, right? Mm-hmm. And they were able to kind of, just play kind of Shenandoah's game in like the steamrolling game, right? And it took a while for Shenandoah to kind of adapt towards that, but in the end, they were able to adapt and kind of take back that momentum that would take them to win that game.
Yeah, SU in a very, very commanding lead thus far. It does sound like we will be taking a quick break, some time for teams to regroup, strategize, and come back for map number 3. So don't go anywhere, and we will be right back.
Shenandoah University is a big little university rising.
With 22 Division III sports teams, over 200 areas of study,
over 300 annual performances, an elite academic esports program,
Nationally ranked health professions programs, one of the biggest university presences on Broadway,
immersive AR and VR learning programs,
cybersecurity and computer science programs, and innovative undergrad and graduate programs.
all at a place that cares for you.
Shenandoah University is the big little university rising. Find out more at su.edu/rising.
We have the Esports Arena right here on campus in Winchester, Virginia, and this facility acts as the hub for all esports activity at Shenandoah University. Students are able to use this space not just for competition and practices, but also as a living learning community and a sandbox for them to come and explore and practice and try out things related to and through esports in the gaming industry so that they're getting that hands-on learning and the skills necessary to help them find a career by the time they graduate. We also have the professional level broadcast production booth where we do all of our broadcasting and production, from casting of our games that we play right here on campus to working with outside entities to record footage for them as well. In addition to the space that we have here in the Esports Arena is the Esports War Room. Our students get to use that space for studying, but also outside projects. So our students get to use this space for professional development and the academic side of our esports program, which is such a critical component to go with that competitive element that we have. So we combine all of our facilities at Shenandoah University with competition, community, and career preparation. We have over 250 days of programming, and there's something for everybody, and we want you to be part of it.
Wasn't the plan. Don't wanna demand it. I've done what I can. And I never mentioned the times you were rude. And I never mentioned when you hid the truth. Scared to lose it all. I will stand a chance. Unresolved, maybe it's madness. I'm begging you, please pick up the call. You're causing me damage. I should've known, wasn't your fault. Don't even matter.
Welcome back, everybody, after that short break. Thank you for sticking with us here. We are approaching a map number 3. We still do not have word of what that one is going to look like just yet. We do know the mode, though, because it's the same every single Friday. It is going to be Push will be the mode that we go to here next to decide if this one is a clean sweep here for SU or if the Saints can hold on and force a map number 4.
Right, I do think during that break we did get word. I do believe the map was Coliseo, which is pretty much the standard for push maps, right? We don't really have many push maps in the game to begin with, right? It's still a very new mode. It came out, I do believe, when Overwatch 2 first released. I do believe we only have like 3 new maps. It's like Coliseo, New Queen Street, and the one that came out a few seasons ago, Runosabi. That one seems to be pretty popular amongst the competitive scene as well, but Coliseo also pretty popular. Basically, just not New Queen Street. Not many people in the community I've seen have shown much liking to that map. But that's the point. Coliseo. That is what we are playing for this map 3, and we're going to see how both teams kind of interact with these long sight lines. Maybe we see a bit of a sniper pick from Thomas Moore. But as far as Shenandoah goes, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? I think we're just going to keep going with the Sojourn, the Orisa / Ramatra, the Reaper, and the Kiriko / Ana with the Juno. Yeah,
I feel like it makes the most sense for SU to keep what has been working. You do bring up a good point that there was a lot of long-range options here when it comes to Coliseo, so we'll have to see if we do see some kind of Ashe to come through, maybe a Widowmaker as well. We don't often see those characters. Ashe has kind of become the hit scan of choice here for some long-range DPS options, so we'll have to see if that one does come through. I don't expect it to, just because these two teams are very familiar and comfortable with what they already do. Specifically on the SU side, you said it as well. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. I don't see why you would want to swap off of the Ramatra when it has been looking so good thus far. I mean, the Orisa had some moments of glory in map number 1 and a little bit here in map number 2, but at the end of the day, it's been the Ramatra that has really come out and separated SU from Thomas Moore thus far.
Right, and as far as range dreamer goes, I feel like Orisa might be the best pick here, knowing what kind of tanks that Weaver Dragon goes for, right? They like playing those other Brawl tanks that aren't Orisa from what I've seen. They sell a lot of Malga, a lot of Roadhog, a lot of Reinhardt, and most of those characters have a recurring theme on them. They do not have a great matchup versus Orisa, right? Has a lot of those tanks don't really have many ways to protect themselves from sort of stuns, minus Reinhardt with that big shield. But as far as Roadhog and Malga goes, both, big guys that don't really have that many ways of dealing with like a stun, right? Malga has that charge that makes him immune to CC, but that's pretty much all he has. But from what we've seen so far, Weaver Dragon swapping to the Hazard, which is definitely a tank that does decently well into Orisa, right? And one of those perks that Hazard gets to is that his Violent Leap, which is like that jump into the slash combo. He can do, I believe, more damage to enemies who have a high amount of HP, which could be pretty helpful for tank shredding as well. Kind of help having some more dueling potential versus tank, as he kind of plays his brawl / dive hybrid, as he's able to get in, have the DPS to kind of has basically a mini shotgun while having the sustain to keep himself alive.
Yeah, we do see Waffle now on this Lucio as well. A little bit of a support swap coming through from the Saints here. Will go down. Flames able to find that one. Sin up top as well, raining down damage with Hazard now away from the rest of the team, letting them all fall one after another. And now we see Weaver Dragon running away after the team crumbles around him. Sin doing a great job at distracting the tank player for the Saints.
Right, even though we do not have a Tiny Shiny with us right now, I need an excuse to use this line that she also gave me with her words of wisdom. Your attention is a resource, right?
Yeah.
Sin, taking advantage that the Weaver Dragon just wanted to kill them that badly, right? Just kind of chasing after him, but unable to take out the Sojourn. So Hazard was a bit staggered the rest of his team, and it's just get kind of shredded here, unable to do anything but spike guard. But with the combination of Reaper and Orisa, it's kind of hard to sustain yourself.
And that's the thing with that new perk, the Heat Dissipator, as well, coming up. Use those critical hits, refreshing that heat. You can just hold left click and not really have to worry about it at all, right? And that's exactly what we saw there as SU's push continues to move forward, getting to that first point, and now going for the full cap if they can get it. But I mean, we see a switch on the side of the Saints. VII Dragon going over to the ball. Flames will find one, answering back for the death of Sin. Rainjammer up top as well, applying so much pressure. Flames on this Reaper as well, still just wreaking havoc into the back line. The Lucio not long for this world, and it looks like Saphir Gravy as well is not long for this world, trying to just jump off of the map, but unable to do so as the ball now re-enters the battle, but has to quickly run away as they were severely chunked quite quickly.
Right, and this cart keeps pushing Ben. There's not much answers we're seeing so far from Thomas More. The ults are racking up. We do almost have the minefield, but we do have the high noon as well as the overclock. As the high noon will get popped, was the answer from Shenandoah, but ball getting honestly annihilated from the railgun from Sin, but Claviella falling to that high noon. Average Gamer not going down without taking out one. That one was unfortunately Claviella.
Yeah, Flames and Sin still alive though. The Javelin going just wide, but look, there's still 5 ultimates up and available for SU.
Ooh.
1, 2 were used on the side, excuse me, only the one. It's a swap from Wiwu now onto the Zarya here. So, I mean, they have a lot of options to really push this one all the way to the end, but they will fall back. They have a very strong push already, now resetting onto this defensive side, waiting for Flames to rejoin with the team as Thomas More bringing it all the way back to where we started to see if they can get some distance of their own with this robot.
Right, and if you're on Shenandoah's side, despite like you didn't quite full cap, right? But you have that time on your side, right? You have that massive push, and even though the clock is still ticking, it's a lot of time to go down, right? There's a lot of room to work around and kind of just get the mental stat going, right? What I mean by that is there's so much to keep track of in a game like Overwatch, right? What kind of ults are at stake with the positioning of everyone included, and Thomas More have no ultimates to speak of. We do see the high noon slowly rising up, but Shenandoah has all 5 of their ults that they've been sitting on for the past like minute or so, but it just makes me wonder, when are they going to start ripping them?
Yeah, Jay Rudy getting dangerously low as well here. Yeah, they've been holding on to these ults for quite some time, as now we see the Terror Surge into the Death Blossom, picking up to Average Gamer, and Wiwu Dragon going down, and now Flame into the backline, able to find one. Bio Exorcist going down. Claviella finding Saphir Gravy, Sin as well, finding Waffle in the meantime. Only 2 ultimates used in that exchange. Average Gamer very close to having their ultimate back up and available. The high noon could be a massive turning point if they are able to find the correct angle, but with 3 ultimates still in the back pocket of SU, they're looking to keep the push going. Ranger getting a little poked out there, but will be able to reset with the team. Zarya pushing forwards on to Jay Rudy, but won't be able to find much with that one. Flames now as well, trying to just find some angles. The high noon now will come out. The Javelin, huge, able to cancel that one, jumping over the body of Zarya. Huge play coming through. Average Gamer still able to find one. Flames will go down. Sin as well will fall. Ranger pushing the advantage on to Severe Gravy. That is now onto this Sojourn, but a great fight coming through from Thomas More. Able to split up SU, the backline falling, the Saints staying alive, and now back in control of the bot.
Yeah, a little bit of oppositioning there from both sides, right? Wiwu Dragon was able to go the full distance to take out Sin on that Sojourn, but as well as Ranger trying to take out the Zarya as well, and that kind of led to her death.
Yeah, as now we set up for another potential fight here from SU. The Kitsune was used in that last exchange. Oh, Flames absolutely obliterated by the Cassidy. Average Gamer able to find that one. Terror Surge back up and available. Will just have to run away. Thomas More now finding some momentum on this push side of things. The Zarya, a potential saving grace here for Thomas More. 4 ultimates up and available. The Terror Surge not popped just yet. So much sustain coming through. Cassidy dangerously low will finally fall. Severe Gravy as well, dangerously low, but the Zarya pumping out so much damage with the orb, racking up that energy, doing oh so much damage with the laser beam, able to find so many kills. SU dropping like flies. Now, what does SU do to respond? J. Rudy did use the Orbital Ray, Sin, and Flames, and Rangeimer, all 3 with their ultimates up and available. But Thomas More, the Saints, pushing strong towards their even point with the 107 meters here on the side of SU.
Right, Thomas More slowly gaining some momentum back. Shenandoah for once in a while on the back foot, but they do have the ult advantage. There are no ults from the supports to speak of, but we do have the combo of the Death Blossom as well as the Terror Surge coming out from both Rangeimer and Flames, that duo that we know so well and just love seeing.
Yeah, a great combination coming through with that. The Tarot Blossom, I'm going to call it now. That combination with those 2 ultimates coming up huge. Regaining possession of that robot. Sin still having the overclock up and available. Clabula very close to having the Kitsune Rush available as well. So we will have to see where that one comes out. Ranger, we're getting dangerously low there from the Zarya. Weird Dragon starting to pump out a whole lot of damage. Will finally go down. Bio Exorcist able to clean that one up. Clabula holding on to the Kitsune. Weird Dragon again so low. Will finally be able to find the kill is Sin as they pop that overclock. Thomas More running away, trying to stay alive as long as possible. Sin getting low as well. We'll be able to find one onto Waffle as they were trying to secure the kill onto the Sojourn. The orb going out, won't be able to find that adhesive perk, but Sin now pushing the advantage, making sure Thomas More cannot get back onto this bot to contest it, but it's standing still. No one is on it. No one is moving the robot in the right direction. You would think they'd want to try to push this one forward as much as possible, so Thomas More had a little bit more space to work with, but instead they're just going to regroup. They have ultimates up and available. High Noon was used. I believe it was another Javelin from Rangeimer to come through to cancel that one. Spear Gravy now with the overclock. What can they do?
Right, and I do see the idea of kind of just leaving the robot alone, as whenever you push the robot forward, Shenandoah might not be so common as to win that fight. So you just could be stalling for time at that point, right? Because that gives Thomas More to have less time to push that robot towards the point to kind of swing some momentum back. But as we see right here, the robot is pushing very close to the end of Thomas More's side. Shenandoah very close to wrapping this series out. What's the play here from Thomas More as they just pop both the overclock as well as the grab? We do see the orbital coming out from J. Rudy, but we also have the Death Blossom, the Terror Blossom, like you mentioned earlier. Will it be popped? Not yet, as might not be needed for this last fight, as Shenandoah takes the series 3-0 over Thomas More. A very convincing 3-0 indeed.
Yeah, a clean team kill there. The swap over the ball. We were trying to get the angle, but Flames already. The Terror Surge as well outside the spawn doors. The clean sweep coming through from SU. Last Friday, it was a reverse. This Friday, it's squeaky clean. SU looking strong, now advancing to that 2-1 record, I believe, here on the season here at NECC.
Right, and I do believe it is 3-0.
3-0, it is 3-0, you're right.
3-0 in NECC, right? And, right, if you're Shenandoah, you're feeling great, because last week versus Akron University, we did see that Shenandoah did have the lead 2-0, but we're on the verge of getting reversed 3-0. But this time around, they were able to lock it in. They were able to kind of keep their game plan going and just rack it up, lock it up until without having any worry of a potential 3-0 reverse.
Yeah, I mean, they stayed strong, right? That push looked absolutely dominant. J. Rudy, we can see the excitement on their face in that player cam. Yeah, absolutely juiced to come away with that 3-0. I mean, everyone still seems extremely locked, right? I mean, like,
they still think it's going on? Or?
I don't know. Maybe they're like, all right, where's map 4? Maybe they were used to it from last Friday. They're like, all right, we have to go all the distance. We have to do all 5 here. But yeah, props to everyone on the SU squad, Sin in particular as well, stepping in yet again. for that sub position here in that DPS role on the Sojourn, looking super, super clean and very pivotal in a lot of those team fight wins that SU was able to grab.
Right, we saw time and time again from Sing hitting those railgun shots that mattered the most, making the use out of Soldier's incredible burst damage with the overclock as well. Just the perks that Soldier gets just really help kind of push her into a combo character kind of archetype, right? So you kind of rack up the damage with your primary fire and just do the finisher with the railgun. That's the combo that she's known for. While also having a bit of area denial with that orb. I forgot what the official name it is, but the adhesive kind of acting as a bit of a trap, right? If you were to stick that to the tank, they can't really walk back to their team with the fear of having like their supports, for example, be killed from the adhesive that they brought back towards their own teammates.
Yeah, I mean, when that does get stuck on them, it is very, very scary, right? The thing that I know, the game that I know best is League of Legends. You have the orb that you can put on Nocturne or anyone that dives in, and then you shockwave, and it pulls everyone in together. So you're like, oh my gosh, please don't walk towards me. I don't want you close to me. So they try to run away, but sometimes you just can't do it, right? So yeah, great stuff coming through from the roster here from SU. Thomas More as well, looking strong on Kings Row, forcing that one into an overtime. Really, on every map, they looked super, super strong, but they just weren't able to come out in some of those really close exchanges to come out with a map victory here today.
Right, and I do believe we are getting word that we will be getting an interview quite soon, but first, let's talk about what kind of adjustments were made from both sides, right? Shenandoah kind of just sticking to a bit of a, let's call it like a min-max, right? If you know what min-max means, let's say like in particular like RPG, you kind of like put some of your points into a specific stat. In this case, Shenandoah just puts all of their stats into like a rush / like brawl composition, right? We love seeing the Orisa, the Ramatra with the Reaper. That is the tried and true like duo characters for Shenandoah, Ranger on the Orisa or the Ramatra. We do see Flames on his signature Reaper.
Yeah, I mean, Flames was looking super, super well. Both DPSs were looking extremely strong throughout the entire series, right? And we did talk a little bit about some of these switch-ups, right? We had Orisa initially going in with this brawl comp for the Hornets. Wasn't really working to full extent of what they really wanted to see. So when they swapped over into that attacking side, they went into this Ramatra, and it worked really, really well. So I love the adjustments coming through from the rest of the squad as well. We saw, I don't really think we saw a whole lot of other switches other than Clabiella on this Ana Kiriko, depending on whichever one they really needed, if it was the Kitsune or that Strike Nano with you get strong, they get strong too, so might as well just stay on that one. I mean, Clabiella doing a great job. Jay Rudy, everyone on the side of the Hornets doing very, very well, but also on the side of Thomas More, right? They looked very strong with some of their changes up. They went to the Hazard. They had the Malga out there as well, looking very, very strong. And I do believe we are ready for that interview. So I'm going to give it a quick toss out into the arena where Kevin is standing by with Danny Flames, our Reaper player.
Thank you so much, Kyle and Ben. I have to say, we just witnessed an amazing match of Overwatch. I gotta ask, how are you feeling right now?
I'm feeling pretty good. I think I came off some good games when no deaths first came even. So I think this is a good step up from last Tuesday here that we just played and where we went 0-3 instead. So I think this is a good way to turn it around and get back into it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I was keeping an eye on the game. I did not realize the 0 deaths thing. That is crazy. We talked a little bit in the early, in the pregame interview about the perk system. How are you feeling about that, especially with how the match went today?
I think it's really good for the game in general, but I think it's kind of going to benefit our team a lot. I think a lot of our different players get a lot of value out of the different perks that have been added to their characters, especially me from the 2 different perks I've been using mostly. I think they give me a lot of survivability. I think they give me a lot of killing power, and I think it helps just move our team along, especially when we focus on trying to run in and just making sure everything is dying.
Great stuff. I also have to ask, when you're in these sorts of situations, right, you you all had a very strong, commanding performance throughout this game, but you are in a team setting. It's very easy to get almost sidetracked in these sorts of situations. What do you as a team do to try and keep your focus on the game and what's in front of you?
I honestly, in a way, we kind of just keep everything loose. Like, before in the games, we'll kind of maybe mess around a little bit, and then we just kind of get everyone to focus in. But, like, that little bit of kind of silly time kind of allows us to focus up a lot better whenever we're actually going in to focus on the game. Because it just kind of eases us up, it makes us less tense, and then we can just go in and get a win.
Great stuff all around. Thank you so much for this interview. I would throw it back. However, I did get word that there was a very special message that one of the Overwatch players wanted to give. I believe, Bailey, you had something you wanted to say to the people at home. Feel free to take the mic.
Hi.
Make sure you're not covering. Yep, you're good.
Hi, Trevor. It's your little sister. I'm just saying I love you. Thank you for watching. I hope you get it to Oregon safe. And call me when you get there. I'll be mad at you.
Great stuff. A very, very important message. Hopefully a safe drive for you. And with all that being said, I believe we're going to throw it back to the casters. So guys, take it away.
Travel safely, Trevor. I'll find you too. Probably. I don't know, but Bailey will. I know she will. She's very committed when people aren't safe. Right. So, yeah,
Right.
Well, nonetheless, great interview coming through from Flames as well. Nice to hear that they keep it easy and comfortable and loose, right? They have some fun in between some of these matches. So it's nice to hear that. And it's also crazy to hear that he didn't die in map number 1.
Yeah, I never noticed that.
I did not notice that either. What a performance coming through from one of our main DPS players, Flames, on that Reaper, looking super, super good.
Right, and just like we said before, like this Danny just on the Reaper, so dominant in his particular playstyle, right? And these perks, like he mentioned in the after game interview with Kevin, he really loves those perks. It really helps his playstyle, right? The Soul Orbs kind of keeping him alive and giving a bit of nostalgia from back when he played Overwatch 1 back in the day. But also, the Dire Trigger is just acting like a bit of like a combo finisher with Reaper. If you couldn't finish off a particular, let's say like a tank with your full clip with the 8 shots, you can just use your cooldown to do one last big burst damage.
Yeah, and yeah, it looks well. The perks look super fun to watch. Adhesive as well on the Sojourn, having the ball kind of stuck to one player and be like, oh my gosh, like stinky cheese touch from Diver Wimpy Kid. Please stay away. I don't want you near me whatsoever. So yeah, good stuff coming through from the Hornets. A clean 3-0. I do believe that'll do it here tonight, wrapping up the week with Academy Overwatch. Thank you all so much for watching. I have been Ben Kincaid, joined by Kyle Dexter, and we will see you next time.
Shenandoah University is a big little university rising.
With 22 Division III sports teams, over 200 areas of study,
Over 300 annual performances, an elite academic esports program,
Nationally ranked health professions programs, one of the biggest university presences on Broadway,
immersive AR and VR learning programs,
cybersecurity and computer science programs, and innovative undergrad and graduate programs.
all at a place that cares for you.
Shenandoah University is the big little university rising. Find out more at su.edu/rising.
We have the Esports Arena right here on campus in Winchester, Virginia, and this facility acts as the hub for all esports activity at Shenandoah University. Students are able to use this space not just for competition and practices, but also as a living learning community and a sandbox for them to come and explore and practice and try out things related to and through esports in the gaming industry, so that they're getting that hands-on learning and the skills necessary to help them find a career by the time they graduate. We also have the professional level broadcast production booth, where we do all of our broadcasting and production, from casting of our games that we play right here on campus to working with outside entities to record footage for them as well. In addition to the space that we have here in the Esports Arena is the Esports War Room. Our students get to use that space for studying, but also outside projects. So our students get to use this space for professional development and the academic side of our esports program, which is such a critical component to go with that competitive element that we have. So we combine all of our facilities at Shenandoah University with competition, community, and career preparation. We have over 250 days of programming, and there's something for everybody, and we want you to be part of it.
Before we get into that, let's see how we got here with the schedule that was this week. pretty fun, right? I mean, we had...
Righty, thank you so much, Ben and Kyle. I am joined by Rain Dreamer to talk a little bit about the Overmatch here today. Tell me, it's been a long week. How are you feeling going into this match?
I'm feeling pretty confident. We've been working on some things here and there, some like micros and macros, and I think that we're going to do and play very, very well tonight.
Gotta ask, what have you taken from that last match? What are you hoping to try and implement today to try and really bring this match to the next level?
I'd say that we took to really get our mental in the right state of mind before really going into the matches, and yeah, pretty much just working together as a team, listening to each other, and just doing what we do best.
Oh yeah, for sure. Now let's look at what the overall kind of head-to-head looks like with these two teams, taking a quick peek at what last. To get our first map, Kyle. What is it going to be? Legion Tower.
None other than Legion Tower, Ben. The tried and true in the Overwatch community. Everyone, and I mean everyone, loves this map, Ben. They're still proficient in some other roles as Sin, Guess That Railgun on Average Gamer, and Sepher Gravy.
I'm curious as to what happened there. We have two SDs.
Oh,
yeah,
no.
And there's another one, Ranger going down, but they will be able to find the cap. Thomas Moore and Flames now in the back, wreaking havoc, trying to stay alive, and will do so with a three-man Death Blossom, cleaning up that fight. To the Roadhog, possibly just trying to find some sort of pick, but the Terror Surge up and available, will be dropped. Won't be able to find any kills, but after that, they will. 2 in a row. Yeah, Flames now in the thick of things. Yet again, Ranger able to find the kill onto Wee Woo Dragon. And now it's all up to the Moira, but unable to find the touches is Thomas Moore. The first point going in favor of SU. Well, Sin able to clean that one up, and now SU pushing the advantage, making sure everyone goes back to that spawn point. Multiple members down, and Shannon Fabiola possibly in a dangerous spot, but Sin able to clean up one. The healing coming through as well, and the Death Blossom to follow, finding 2. Make that 3 for Flames. A clean team kill for Shenandoah.
Health pack that only Reaper can pick up. I do believe it's about like 50 HP, but the Terror Blossom coming out from Rain Dreamer. The Terror is taken out 2, as well as
really run through this one, but I do want to give massive props to Sin as well. Going off on the Sojourn in that first map, looking super, super good. A very versatile player, able to play support last week, DPS today, a tank player as well. Kind of knows a little bit of everything here in Overwatch. A very nice.
And it looks like you just got the word for map 2 on this attack/defend. It is going to be King's Row, another staple for Shenandoah.
And it looked dominant, right? They were able to really take it to Akron. They weren't able to do a whole lot on their push, and then SU just kind of ran away with things. So let's see if that repeats here today against Thomas Moore. I mean, it looks like that cap is already going to come through. A beautiful first push coming through from Thomas Moore, finding those early kills, raining down a whole lot of damage. But now look, Death Blossom up and available, but won't be able to pop that one as Sepher Gravy able to find one. Average Gamer finding
free to be used, but no Death Blossom able. I'm just kidding. There he goes, but no, he gets stopped by the Malga. Power enforcement, the Orbital goes out with the cage, and almost everything's getting popped here. The Kitsune as well.
Final point, Flames TPing up the Kitsune, popped by Clabbiella. Will they be able to get anything with it? So much damage, and the High Noon coming up huge. Clabbiella will fall. Average Gamer will find one. Wee Woo Dragon yet be close to being popped, question mark. There goes Malga going in dangerously low. Goes Ranger, will drop the spear, finds one. Flames as well on the backside, finding 2 of their own. A beautiful approach. It looked like Rain come through, finds multiple members, multiple of them going purple as well. Wee Woo Dragon dangerously low. Sin trying to find that kill, but unable to do so. The adhesive perk coming up there, when that does hit the player, it does stick to them, so it can move around just a little bit. But I mean, the back end, if they are able to find those kills, the Ana goes down. J. Rudy will follow. The Terror Surge coming through. I mean, we can see Bioexorcist so low, finally goes down, but Sin will follow. The DPS line still alive on the side of Thomas Moore, and that looks like that will do it. A full cap with 18 seconds left coming through for Thomas Moore to find the kill in that exchange. Wee Woo Dragon already going down. Flames able to find that one. Now Ranger firing on to the back line as well. the damage coming through, and it looks like it's just gonna be a team kill and a full cap immediately coming through from the Hornets with that Junkrat up top. Flames trying to chase them down, but unable to find that angle. Never mind, it's going to be Scrap coming through as well. The Cade from Mauga keeping everyone inside, but will fall. Ranger able to find one, but Average Gamer on the back end. Glabiella Flames will fall, and Sphere Gravy out this Mauga going purple. Will they be able to stay alive? No. Flames into the backside, but the sleep dart yet again coming through, but Sin following up with the overclock, able to find one. Will they be able to find any more? J. Rudy, Glabiella finding those back end kills. Flames as well, still.
He was able to kind of just stomp the rest of the team with the help of Sin with that overclock. Getting the solo cage on the Reaper, but everyone else joining on the fun side. They can kind of shred Mauga here when he's kind of left alone like that, as both Average Gamer and Bio Exorcist goes down, as long as Waffle for Prez.
Yeah, well, no one on the cart for SU. Finally, they jump on it, but it allows Thomas More to find another touch, but Sin says, no way. I'm going to find 2 kills right quick. The full cap coming through with time to spare.
Effort from the team from Thomas More is trying to get one last push, but Sephiroth Gravy and Waffle Press both going down to Ranger and J. Rudy, as well as Flames taking out Average Gamer and Bio Exorcist.
All that SU now has to do in this overtime is find that first point, and they will be victorious. I think does that as well. Sin very close to the overclock. J. Rudy, the Orbital Ray up and available as well. Will drop that one. Flames in the backside as well. A TB able to find one. J. Rudy. Sin cleaning up with the overclock as well. That will be the first tick. They were just waiting for those ultimates to be up and available. SU
take out the Sojourn, so Hazard was a bit staggered the rest of his team, and it's getting kind of shredded here, unable to do anything but spike guard.
Of Sin, Rangehammer up top as well, applying so much pressure. Flames on this Reaper as well, still just wreaking havoc into the back line. The Lucio not long for this world, and it looks like Saphir Gravy as well.
Average Gamer not going down without taking out one. That one was unfortunately Glabiella.
Yeah, Flames and Sin still alive though. The Javelin going as well here. Yeah, they've been holding on to these ults for quite some time, as now we see the Terror Surge into the Death Blossom, picking up to Average Gamer and Wee Woo Dragon going down, and now Flame into the backline, able to find Ranger pushing the advantage on to Severe Gravy. That is now onto the Sojourn, but a great fight coming through from Thomas More, able to split up SU, the backline falling. Just coming through, Cassidy dangerously low, will finally fall. Severe Gravy as well, dangerously low, but the Zarya pumping out so much damage with the orb, racking up that energy, doing oh so much.
But we do have the combo of the Death Blossom as well as the Terror Surge coming out from both Ranger and Flames, that duo that we know so well. And
this is Waffle Sin getting low as well. We'll be able to find one onto Waffle as they were trying to secure the kill onto the Sojourn. The orb going out.
Yeah, of kind of just leaving the robot alone, as whenever you push the robot forward, it might not be so common, but we also have the Death Blossom, the Terror Blossom, like you mentioned earlier. Will it be popped? Not yet, as might not be needed for this last fight, as Shenandoah takes the series 3-0 over Thomas More. A very convincing 3-0 indeed.
Yeah, a mean team kill there. The swap over the ball. We were trying to get the angle, but Flames already the Terror Surge as well outside the spawn. Props to everyone on the SU squad, Sin in particular as well, stepping in yet again for that sub position here in that DPS role on the Sojourn, looking super clean and very pivotal in a lot of those team fight wins that SU was able to grab.
So much, Kyle and Ben. I have to say, we just witnessed an amazing of Overwatch. I gotta ask, how are you feeling right now?
I'm feeling pretty good. I think I came off some good games when no deaths first came even. So I think this is a good step up from last Tuesday here that we just played, and where we went 0-3 instead. So I think this is a good way to turn it around and get back into it.
same mistake. Hoping I don't make the same mistake. I'm just standing in the rain, hoping I don't make the same mistake. Hand out, she holds. It's feeling like we've been here before. We're both so broke. That's something that'll keep us afloat. Don't walk too slow.